Hello peoples, it is time for another video. I think my voice finally sounds a little bit not horrible. Uh, so we're gonna be doing another video today. As you're looking at the title, this video is gonna be talking about my diet. Oh my god, Brandon is talking about his diet for the 40th time. I promise this video is actually helpful. So this is a in-depth analysis of what I eat in a week in college, specifically in college. This is also like the main, I guess, factor of my losing weight. This is kind of like the follow-up, like the actual follow-up to the weight loss video, because they say that like weight loss is like 80% diet. So we should probably at least gloss over high school diet part 1. I think I already talked about this in the last video, but I did not eat particularly healthy as a kid. Like, I think I mentioned, like, I was a pretty picky guy, so a lot of the food that I liked was like extremely unhealthy. Like, basically the stereotypical tasty stuff is all I liked eating. And I had like this interesting habit, and I don't think this is medically diagnosed, but I have a very strong gag reflex. Like whenever I'm brushing my teeth, sometimes if I hit like a certain part of the tongue, I just almost throw up. I think that's a thing for a lot of people, but it's especially like a problem when I'm eating things my body isn't used to, or my taste buds aren't used to. I end up like throwing up a lot, or almost throwing up, if that makes any sense. And my family is like, okay, well, maybe if you expect the food to taste good, you won't like gag. I'm like, I don't really understand the logic here. Like, I understand there is some like logic to like that. If you trick your brain into liking it, you will eventually like it, but that takes a long time to do, and it's not particularly easy when you literally almost throw up eating it at all, I guess. But I don't think this is medically diagnosed. This is just mostly a me thing. If it is medically diagnosed, I don't know that. And it'd be nice to know that, but you get the idea, right? So I did eat many healthy things. I did like some fruits, but limited amount, which is unfortunate. Like, I'm pretty sure the only 2 fruits I ate, or 3, is like a banana, apple, and like maybe a strawberry. Strawberries are really tasty, but they're not that easy to like get. But you get the idea, right? So I didn't really eat that much, and there's only really one vegetable that I could eat that I was able to eat without gagging for the most part, and it was broccoli. But I remember that it took me like 30 minutes to eat it because I struggled so much. These days I eat it a little quicker, but I don't like broccoli. It's just one of the only things that I can eat without like throwing up. I guess if you had to say like a vegetable that I actually liked, I guess corn would technically be that. But corn is not a vegetable, kind of, so it's different. Okay, so high school diet part 2. So obviously that diet was never going to do anything. So I started to eat healthier, right? Stuff like egg and rice and sandwiches. These are things I already ate as a kid, and I liked eating them, right? So this was good, right? Because, okay, maybe they don't give the same feeling as like that, like unhealthy McDonald's type stuff, but it still tastes good, and they're healthy. So it's like a win-win, right? So I replaced a lot of the junk food that I ate with this. So these are like actual food groups now, not just like oil and fat. So this is an improvement, right? High school diet part 3. So I cut my diet in half. This, once again, is something you need to know. To know more about, you have to watch the weight loss video. But I just kept the healthy stuff in my diet and eliminated most junk food. And this makes like the most sense, right? Because like if you're eating a balanced meal, right, like for your daily calories, you wouldn't want to fill it up with like junk food, right? You'd want to fill it up with things that are actually useful for your body, or at least more useful. Because I know like you could be like in the comments, oh well, technically Doritos has a little bit of corn, okay, but you know what has more corn? Actual corn. So like you get the idea, right? Like if I'm eating healthy and I want to be calorically, is that a word? I want to have enough calories for the day. I want to make sure I'm eating things that fill me up and are healthy. So that's why I kind of like deemed the term waste of calories. I remember this one time, like my dad went to the store and bought some like shrimp thingies, and like I actually really like fried shrimp, but these ones in particular were kind of bad. So I remember he gave it to me and I spit it out because it did not taste good. And I had already eaten a meal that day, and I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna gain weight just because of some bad food, right? Like really, the only times I'll eat something that isn't tasty, like for my meal plan, is when it's like broccoli, right? So stuff like chips, I really only eat once a week. And cheat days became like more than a cheat day. It became like a freaking like scandal day, if that makes any sense. Like I ate so much, it was kind of nuts. But no, you get the idea, right? Cheat days are the day where like you just kind of go all out. Yes, days like that were kind of confusing for my metabolism because when you go from not eating too much to eating a shit ton on the same day, it kind of does not work well for your body. But hey, you know what? For the most part, like I know there are a lot of like risks to not eating much in terms of weight loss. I know your metabolism kind of fluctuates a lot when you don't. It basically means that when you lose weight, you lose a lot, but when you gain weight, you gain a lot. So you just gotta be able to strike that balance. And it's not something that it's not something I understood well in the beginning of my diet, but it's something that I improved on as I went on. So the first semester of college, things were definitely a lot more chaotic here. I still kept like the 1 meal a day thing, but like I was kind of hard to keep a schedule, right? There was like a point in like a week in like my school year where I just eat like fried chicken, pizza, like McDonald's twice, each on its own day, which is kind of bad because if you only eat 1 meal a day and that's your 1 meal a day, that is bad. Sometimes I just randomly bought chips. It was unhealthy. Like it's honestly kind of a miracle I didn't gain weight looking back, but at the very least I was definitely less healthy. So eventually in the same semester I did shorten it to 3 fast food days a week and not 4. And I think at my age there isn't any real issue there, but you know, I'm young, but you get the idea, right? Like I'm at the part of my life where like I'm older enough to have to think about it, if that makes any sense. I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting, but you get my point. I'm almost 20, okay? I'm almost 20. Oh, I feel old. Okay, no, I'm kidding. A messy semester for diet, but the progress was made by the end of it. So, the second semester of college, I knew I needed a healthier schedule, so I changed my diet to unhealthy fast food only twice a week. So, there's like a lot of reasons why I did this. Obviously, health is always a thing, but there's also like I think a lot of like fact in the idea that like unhealthy food makes you sing a lot worse. I think to some extent at least. Like I think it's because like deep fried stuff kind of f's up your vocal cords, and my vocal cords already kind of suck. Like I don't know if I sound good while talking, but I think I sound worse when singing, which is saying a lot. But yeah, so I had like a set meal for each day. One of the best things I think you can do is like make a schedule because it means that like you aren't really worrying too much about what you're eating. The only problem is that by doing so, you have to worry a lot about the schedule when it kind of gets derailed. But I'll get there. So, shopping. This is the day, Sunday actually, where I buy all the groceries. Sunday makes sense because like it's kind of the day where like you don't have much to do, but you also kind of feel like you want to get something done. And shopping is a good example of that because it's like you're feeding yourself, so it's like you're not doing nothing. So this is where I buy all the groceries. I guess it could vary sometimes, but for the most part, I always buy eggs, broccoli, of course, an apple. Yes, I eat an apple a day. Make fun of me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's helpful. I drink milk. Not as much as I used to, but I still drink it. Some junk food, but limited. And you know, you make a schedule, right? Like it's still 1 meal a day, and I'm still cutting calories, but you know, it's a schedule, right? There's also one thing, which is cereal, which I'll mention a bit more later. I'm not eating cereal for a meal, by the way. I'll mention that. So Sunday, salmon, 2 pieces, this is like the schedule can change, but this is what it was like about a year ago. So salmon, 2 pieces plus rice. Salmon is just good. Like it's probably one of the best tasting things that's not fast food. Do you need to fry it? Yes, but I can't think of many things that you don't fry, besides like vegetables. Half a bush of broccoli. This is like for some reason my family made fun of me when I said it like this. I think half a bush of broccoli is a decent chunk for like anything. And obviously if it's half a bush, the other half is being eaten another day. Obviously there's an apple. Sunday is one of the days where I decide to eat some chips and some candy, but it sounds so childish saying it like that, but like you get the idea, right? Like this is what I eat on Sunday. I think it's a nice meal to have on a Sunday because like Sunday's kind of boring, and this is a very filling meal. I don't know. Monday, cheese sandwich. These photos are really lazy. I just kind of put like a photo just so there's something there. Cheese sandwich, of course, another apple. The other half of broccoli, hot cocoa, bakery stuff. Like you know, you kind of get what I'm going for here, right? Like this meal feels very like bakery-like and very grain-based, right? Whereas like yesterday's meal felt more like the main thing with protein. This one, the main thing is grains. And of course, there's always fruits and vegetables, so that's really never going to change. But you get the idea, right? Like this is a very childish meal, honestly. But some cheese sandwiches, like if cooked, if like made correctly, are really good. Tuesday. This is probably like the most straightforward day of my diet. It's just egg and rice and like some seaweed. I guess you could call it sushi, but that's not real sushi. It's just like egg, rice, and some seaweed, right? Like I told you, I'm really picky, so I'm not putting like crab in my seaweed. But you get the idea, right? I also get a bubble tea, which I think helps because egg and rice by itself is really tasty. But if I didn't have like some form of a drink on each day, I probably wouldn't like the diet as much. Is this healthy? Well, I mean, I guess generally speaking, like no. But I think in context of the fact that I don't really eat that much, like I think it's okay to drink like something like this like twice a week, and just as long as you're not drinking soda every day, I think it's fine, right? I don't know. Maybe someone who's like in a medical field like can correct me in the comments. Of course, the apple. So this is like a smaller meal by default, but it's very straightforward and clean, right? So you really feel the healthiest on days like these because like it's clean. It's very straightforward, right? Wednesday. This is cheat day 1. Pizzas plus fries plus popcorn chicken. I think this is coming out like nighttime, so hopefully you already ate, or hopefully I didn't make you more hungry. I don't know. Soda, yes. Apple. Kind of expensive, but I will fix this later, I promise. Turns out when you Uber Eat, food in Taiwan especially, it's really expensive because pizza is like American food, or I guess it's not really American. Pizza is like Western food, so it's tend to be more expensive in Taiwan. So yeah. Also, one thing to know about stuff like this is that it gives me really bad heartburn. There was like a point in time because I think like eating like less during the day or eating with a weird schedule like mine also makes heartburn worse. So on days like this, my heartburn is like horrible. Like I was so worried at some point. So I got like some Tums and some antacids, which has helped with that. But a lot of it is just like your body kind of adapts to it, right? Thursday, fried rice. I think I'm not even gonna make the joke here. Obviously, I do like eating fried rice, but wait. I get no vegetables with it. Please don't judge me, okay? You're not eating fried rice to be healthy, okay? The vegetables don't do anything except bother, like, kind of disrupt the balance of the food, okay? Like, it doesn't taste like anything, and when it does taste like something, it tastes bad, okay? And I still eat broccoli. I'm okay eating vegetables separately. I just don't like eating them with things that already taste good. It's like saying, like here's a fry, but I'm gonna put like some like peas on it. Like no. Like keep it separate. I'll eat the peas. I'll eat the fries, please, but do not put them together. But yeah, this is another day where I eat chips and candy. If you put a piece of broccoli on that chip, I will throw it at you. I'm kidding, but yeah, you get the idea. Plus, I'm pretty sure vegetables cost a lot of money to put in fried rice, so I'm doing them a favor. Friday. This is like the whatever day. This day kind of came into existence because I got rid of one of my like fried food days, so it's just kind of replaced with like this, which is kind of just like whatever. Like, hey, look, I can buy that thing. I got bubble tea again here. Something I cook an egg, some bread, whatever's left. Just kind of random crap. Of course, there's more broccoli. I think eating 2 bushes of broccoli a week is pretty good. Once again, my family laughed at me when I said this, but I think it's a pretty decent amount. I think it's the way I said it. But yeah, this is like a really random bullcrap day, but I think it's pretty effective because it's kind of like you gotta eat a bunch of random things that you don't really eat during the week. This is like the one day of the week where like you can eat like some instant noodles for me, or like buy something from like 7-Eleven. Yes, Taiwan has a lot of those. Basically, it's kind of like the F it we ball day of my diet, right? And it's not even that unhealthy, right? Because I'm still eating stuff like eggs, bread. Actually, if you want to think about it, if we're assuming the bubble tea has milk, which I guess is a bold assumption, this is like the full food group, right? Because there's an egg, there's a bread, there's broccoli, and there's an apple, and there's yeah. So that's actually pretty balanced when you think about it. But yeah, you get the idea. Saturday. So Saturday's always been the McDonald's day. Ever since I've grown up, Saturday's always been McDonald's because I remember I went to like this like Chinese school, right? And it would end around 12 o'clock, which is the perfect time for lunch. It's kind of funny because in America, I got like what you see on the screen, like 2 large fries, 20 nuggets, and a soda. But it turns out Taiwanese people don't eat as much. I think I mentioned that Taiwanese people's standard for weight is a lot like lower, if that makes any sense. So like you're about 10, you need to be 10 pounds lighter to be considered light, if that makes, you know what I mean? Like like let's just say like 60 pounds or like I don't know 30 kilograms is considered normal weight. You would need to be like 25 kilograms, right? So like the proportions are smaller. So I actually have to get two 10 pieces. They don't even have a 20 piece. But yeah, this is obviously a cheat day. This is the day where like I'm eating so much food, like you feel it, right? Yeah, heartburn is certainly a thing, but like I said, I think I've gotten better at that. The worst part is when you get hungry on Saturday night because like you already ate like that much food and you're like, well, come on, body, stop being hungry. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Which kind of gets me to the next part, right? Oh wait, hold on, we're not done yet. These videos are not scripted. So small changes because of price, like pizza day and fried rice day are too expensive because Uber Eats in Taipei, especially in the city, is extremely. I guess like the best way is it's not like it's definitely expensive for a Taiwanese person, and it's certainly not cheap for anyone. After all, money is money, and if you can get it somewhere else that's cheaper, why would you not choose that, right? So changes. Sunday became 1 egg. I think it's fine to eat 5 eggs a week. I think there are definitely worse things you can do. Definitely better than eating like other stuff 5 times a week, right? Plus half a piece of salmon. I know this sounds like a little bit of food. I remember I showed this to my sister and she just laughed. She like laughed, but like in a sad way. She's like, Brandon, stop eating so little food. Stop. Please stop. And then I remember I accidentally bought like a bigger piece of salmon or like a more expensive piece. And then I told them I would cut it into thirds, and they were they were upset. They were more like, you know that one emoji where like it's like you're angry but like in a pouty way. Yeah, that's kind of what they were feeling whenever I tell them about my diet. Like it's ironic because like when you like I definitely not the type of person to tell people I'm losing weight, especially now since like it's very clear I've lost weight. People are more like I've come to the point where I've lost so much weight. People are telling me to stop losing weight, which is kind of funny. I would stop if I knew how. I'm a bit on autopilot now, so my diet is kind of just staying the same. And since I'm in Taiwan, where things are less calorie, lower proportions, and I walk a lot to school, I tend to like lose weight anyway. Like right now, I'm like at 81 or 82 kilograms, and I'm pretty sure it's like 2 kilograms lighter than I recorded the last weight loss video. So, oh my god, right? Okay, let's finish this up. So Wednesday still pizza, but I did find a cheaper place in walking distance. It's about a 15-minute walk, which is kind of funny because like it's kind of far, but also like is it because my school is like 20 minutes away, right? Thursday is just salmon again, but I just ate a little less of it. Yeah. So it's time for the kind of the question I think everyone's asking. So what happens when you get hungry at night? At least in the beginning, I was like pretty bad at this because I would just eat like shit ton at night anyway. Like overall, you're still like eating less, but not by as much as you'd want to, right? Like if you put all the effort eating one meal a day and you still have like a really fattening late night snack, that's not exactly effective, right? Because what do you do after you eat at night? You tend to go to sleep, and as great as that is for the soul, it is horrible for your weight gain, right? Because like I've done this before, like especially in the earlier days, where I just eat a bunch of food, and because I don't want to go to sleep immediately, I just walk around for an hour. But that's not really necessary. So on days where I get hungry at nighttime, depending on the day, because I do eat on different times each day. That's more of like a college schedule thing than like a eating schedule thing. I just eat cereal because cereal is pretty healthy. Sure, some cereal's unhealthier than others, but cereal, right? You can't get that unhealthy with cereal, so you get the idea, right? Cereal I only eat like 3 times a week anyway. So what I do on the other days, so there's like this protein. I'm gonna call it protein powder. I don't actually know what it is. I'm gonna call it protein powder. But the point is that you add some milk and water, and it tastes to healthy. It doesn't taste good. It just tastes healthy. So yeah. And I eat a cereal on days where I like eat less in general. So like Tuesday, where you can tell like there's just less things that I'm eating. Probably calorically too, calorie wise. Like I eat the cereal then. On days where like I don't eat until like a later time because of my schedule, also eat it then. And Friday, I also eat it because there's a random bullcrap day, right? So yeah, and you're probably wondering, well, Brandon, what do you do when like the plan is derailed, right? I think it's pretty fortunate because my schedule this semester and like last semester were very similar. So like I could actually have the similar schedule, but for the most part, right? Like it is like hard to make a schedule like this because like you are putting a lot of thought into it, and that takes energy. But once you get the schedule down, it's actually really convenient because then I think people tend to waste a lot of time worrying about what they eat, and yes, I do too, right? Especially because like especially on days where the schedule gets kind of derailed, I'm like, what the shit do I do, right? Because there's always gonna be that feeling in me that I want to eat something tastier and maybe a little less unhealthy, and like sometimes you just give in to that, right? Sometimes you're in circumstances where like it just makes more sense to eat that, but how do you like balance that, right? So a schedule I think is good in general, just to have an idea. So you want some days you deserve it, right? I think there are some days where like if you really want to eat that specific type of food, go for it because like yeah, you only live once and you want to eat these things because they taste good. And I can assure you that when you are eating a diet like this, those days where you eat like the good stuff feel so much better because you feel like you earned it. But hey, I think that's a good note to end this video on. I could do a part 3. I haven't even talked about exercise, so maybe that's a part 3 in the future. But hopefully you got something out of this video. Hopefully it kind of answered some potential questions you had about the last video. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Bye.